It is first and foremost the Tokyo International Conference for African Development. So it's not just Nigeria, it's the whole of Africa. And it is Japan, it is the United Nations, it is the African Union and the World Bank that got together to create this platform. Now, Japan, as we are aware, is the third largest economy in the world. And they have two organs of engaging with Africa. There is TICAD, which is the Japan agency that deals with overseas development assistance. There is JETRO, which is the Japanese organ that deals with trade abroad. And in the case of Nigeria, we have had engagements in the power sector. There's a transmission project going on in Nigeria being supported by this organ. There is also quite a bit of trade that is going on with regards to agricultural commodities, such as shea butter. Of course, some of it is even being processed in Nigeria. And then you also have cassava, and we're looking to expand to what we refer to as acha. I can't remember the English word for acha, but there's a high demand of it here in Japan. And of course, Nigeria exports huge amounts of hydrocarbons to Japan, which is why our trade is about $1 billion. We're looking to expand that. Beyond that, there is the African politics as well. There's the issue of the seat in the UN Security Council. So this is the right sort of platform, particularly since as many as 17 heads of state are being expected for Nigeria to lobby for that. There's a seat in the International Court of Justice. There is the OPCW in the Netherlands, and there's also the International Maritime Organization seat for a country, not an individual. So these are all things that are happening here, and this is the sort of platform to engage.
Okay, in specific terms, Honorable Minister, I would like to find out in what sectors is Nigeria looking to leverage in this very meeting, and as well as the multilaterals we are looking at to engage with.
So you see, Nigeria plays a very pivotal role when it comes to the reform of the global financial architecture that we continue to talk about, because unless we have that reform in the global financial architecture, we cannot benefit, and Africa as a whole cannot benefit. So it does not benefit us if others are not also making progress. So some of the things that are being tabled here, because like I said, the United Nations is here, the World Bank is here, has to do with the issue of debt rescheduling, and debt restructuring. And in the case of Nigeria, because it is a leading economy on the continent, we seek to do what Japan did here in the 60s and 70s. When tariffs were raised, because Japan at that time was the second largest economy in the world, what Japan did was to diversify into other Asian countries. And you had Japanese corporations that are referred to as zaibatsus that invested in other Asian countries. So that Asian miracle is actually what Japan did, which is referred to as the flying geese effect, where you invest in other countries, you create that integration of economies, connectivity, and you benefit from it. You leverage yourself. So if Nigeria is able to do that, and we're already doing that, if you look at the continent, you will see that It is Nigeria that has its banks in other countries. It is Zenith, it is GT Bank, it is UBA, it is Access Bank. If you look at businesses, Dangote, Bua, Sahara, and many, many others like TGI. So if we continue as a government to support that, which is what Japan did deliberately. Look up Toshimichi Okubo and what he said about interference. When you look at the history of Japan, you will come across the Meiji Restoration. And this was the point at which Japan started to industrialize. And you cannot develop, it doesn't matter how, forget about all this leapfrogging that we continue to talk about. You need an industrial base, which is what Nigeria is trying to achieve, which is what President Tinubu is committed to. And that way we can create those jobs for our teeming youths, tackle the issue of unemployment, and of course the macroeconomic reforms of President Tinubu are already in progress, and we're beginning to feel the positive effects.
So in essence, Nigeria is leveraging on?
Nigeria is leveraging first and foremost on this TICAD to strengthen its relationship with Japan and also with other African countries, so that it leads the way in providing that restructuring of the global financial architecture, so that the whole continent would benefit, so that Africa would benefit, and we need to be on the decision-making tables of the world, which is why we need that position in the United Nations Security Council.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.